Welcome to this segment of AKT Celebrity Reads and Vagina Power, Penis Power, Sperm Power. I'm going to get into a few predictions, things I've seen over the past few years that Nipsey has shown me that I see coming up now with waterworld, and we've been in waterworld since Nipsey was assassinated, along with other viruses, diseases, and bacteria are tied to all forms of water, including the water in your body. That ties into my spiritual sexuality classes: vagina power, penis power, sperm power, standing in your power, and knowing your etheric anatomy. You're about 80% or more water. That's what your body is. And we're going to go into that because I've said there were problems in Alaska and Antarctica. And I see these things coming out in the news. Just like I said a few months ago, Grandma Hustle showed me. I think she was on the Princess Cruise line, and she was going into Europe, and she went into Antarctica, and that's when she showed me Matthew Henson, and Alaska, and showing me glaciers cracking, like breaking. There were cracks in the upper earth crust of Alaska and the North Pole. I think that was around Christmas, and two pieces broke off. They said the size of London, because the I don't know if it's English from London astronomers, not astrologers, but we know the astrologers and numerologists are secretly looking from Rome, because they have all of the information from the library in Egypt. They stole all of that information. And so they know more about you than you know. And they know more about the world than you know. The top world, the middle earth, and the bottom earth in Antarctica. There are a lot of problems going on in Antarctica and Alaska. When you're dealing with Antarctica, that's more on the side of the South Pole. When I was dealing with Grandma Hustle and Nipsey, when they were showing me the beings that look like Chewbacca from Star Wars, she was showing me a lot with the North Pole and problems there. Alaska is more North Pole. Correct me if I'm wrong. More North Pole. But from what I'm seeing is they don't talk a lot about Antarctica. And people say, oh, you don't know much about Antarctica. They don't talk much about Antarctica. That's not true. People live in Antarctica. The military is in Antarctica. The military's in Alaska, and we know that people live in Alaska. There are secret projects in Alaska that people that work there and work for the different forms of different governments. And with the U.S., stay up there, live up there. They cannot talk about this. They will never talk about this. They've signed non-disclosures, and they have very close relationships with different extraterrestrials, as well as NASA, and on the different planets that humans go up there and live up there and set up satellite stations and bases, military bases up there. We know that's true. And connected to, and they have travel now, space travel, and travel down here, that you can travel within a matter of minutes, hours, minutes, from one country to the other, one state to the other, that would normally take longer periods of time. They're just not offering it all. And we know the Chinese have shown these types of really fast moving trains, and they're connected in California. And they're going to eventually have that nationwide, because the earth is going to be so polluted and destroyed. You won't be able to drive on the earth. You will have the flying cars. They're already moving from the electric car and going to go to the flying car. They already have them. I've seen some of them on videos. Really cool. I'd love to get in one. But as time goes on, there's not going to be an option to live as we know right now, and to breathe the air we know right now. It's getting too toxic. They're deliberately trashing it. When I see on Antarctica, it's absolutely so fun and so fascinating. I saw the snow and the ice is big cracks in the ground up there, as well as in Alaska, and it's big cracks in the ground in Africa and other parts of the world as well that they're not telling you about. So above, below, they got this information from Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, the other older civilizations that are under the water on this surface Earth that we know right now. At least this is what they're telling me. I just need to find the proof of what I'm saying. When I go up there also to in Antarctica, what's really cool to me is they have, well, I think I've spoken about this before, where I saw them having bodies in the ice. They have viruses and diseases in the ice that they have brought some of them up and experimenting them and reanimating them, which are also a part of the new hybrid virus species, cancers and bacterias and funguses that you will see appearing in humans getting sick. Like when I was talking to you, what Nipsey was telling me about the bird flu, that swine flu mixing with influenza and the regular flu, they're going to mutate to the form you will have, or excuse me, not you, but people, you will see them coming up, or your children, and I hope it doesn't hit your family. So you better build their immune system up and change their diets now. Because if they're eating a meat, if they're eating a chicken, if they're eating dairy byproducts or eggs that have been fed with the fertilizer and that chicken is consuming it and you're consuming it, or particular antibiotic strain, you will become resistant to the mutant and you will have symptoms of a cold or a flu, and you won't be able to recover because they will think it's just a regular influenza. But it's not, because some of those bird flu strains are also mixed with swine flu strains. Yeah, like a pig and a chicken that you don't know about. And these are some of the ones I see in Antarctica. Some old diseases where they said killed groups of Europeans, certain flus, certain viruses, certain bacteria. They have them all, or they can dig someone up. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going to say it anyway, because they're digging people up and reanimating them, like cloning them and actually creating a hologram where they can make a person that is physically dead talk again. Why? Because they have the alien technology. What I thought was so cool is that in Antarctica, the ground opened up and this spaceship whoosh, came up out of the ground with these ETs, because there are different treaties they have with them, and there are different deals that they have with them. And they even go back and said, one of them just came up and said he was talking to Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer from Georgia, who's also tied to, he said, the United Nations. He said he was tied to Watergate with Nixon, Ronald Reagan, and, oh boy, Bush and Satanism, like the King Bush, Daddy Bush, and Reaganomics and all the economic policies they deal with banking and finance. And he keeps taking me back to Egypt, and he said Lower London, the district of London that controls gold, banking, finance, Russia, Hitler, and Germany. Oh boy, you know what, this is going on. We went to Ireland, he said, and moving the snakes out of Ireland. And if you go deeper into what the snakes of Ireland represents, that would be Black Irish. There were actually Black people in Ireland, Black people in Germany, Black people in Russia. Huh? I know a lot of you don't know that, or you think that that's impossible. And yet these people are very racist. A lot of these people are very racist. And that's one of the reasons. They don't know who they are, and the ones that know who you are will suppress you and hate you and don't want you back over there, and don't want you in different parts of Europe where the Moors dominated Europe and dominated Italy. And you see a lot of them on one side, there's like the dark Italians and the more European Italians, because the darker ones, a lot of them don't want to admit that they have black blood, Moorish blood. Or I've met Italians. I dated an Italian guy one time and even a white guy who in the summer got really dark. And the Italian guy said he knew that he had what he called African blood. He did his genealogy, and some of his people came from North Africa, but he knew. He would sing that song called I'm a Soul Man. He said, he had black blood in him, but his family, his Italian mother and his brothers and sisters hated the fact that he dated black women, and said that he could not marry one and bring one home and have children with a black woman, because they would lose the ability to put Italian on the birth certificate, and it would just be black to them, and they wouldn't accept it, which is really like sick, because they try to suppress who you are in those genes, and you don't know who you are. This ET is telling me they are the source of flipping that knowledge upside down. And they are the source, they are the controllers of supreme mathematics, which you would get a lot of from a 5%er or more that tells you the structure of government. They turned it upside down, and being a free man and knowing who you are, and that this whole system and the structure of language and numbers is upside down to keep you oppressed, and you don't even know that you are oppressed because you don't know who you are. This ET has been saying this to me. Everything to them is not about emotion. It's not about feeling. But they understand, and they know the inner workings of you, just like they know the watery substance of you. And they know that in every cell, there is a lot of water. It's a water world. So your microcosm within your macrocosm is in the earth is a magnified view of the cell and the land mass and the architecture of the land mass in your cell. And we know that the mitochondria in the cell fuse the energy, gives you the energy inside of the cell. So I don't want to get into all that here for free. That will be a part of the intro private class when we're dealing with vagina power, vagina power, penis power, sperm power, etheric anatomy. Now the sperm deserves a class of its own. I could teach you about the sperm just by itself because it's so incredible. So when you're dealing with Antarctica and Alaska, and when you're dealing with the structure of science, even when you are dealing with the atom, when you're dealing with the structure of cells, you can also flip that, and it is a counterpart of the human body. But you don't know that because you don't know who you are. And they don't encourage a lot of so-called Black people to focus on science and technology, which is the way of the future. Because they don't prepare you for it as a kid. And your mother and father don't prepare you for it at home. But if you have a natural inclination for it, like I was always naturally attracted to it as a child, and I didn't know why. I was attracted to plants and creating things and the projects, and my grandmother would let me do it. I would go outside and she would just let me do my own thing. I had my easy bake oven out there. I had my doctor's kit. I'd be out there growing plants with her in the garden. I have hot water out there in the sun, and I be letting the sun heat it up, and I'm cooking my collards by the sun, and my little easy bake oven and stuff, and my pots and my little pans, my little dishes. She give it to me by my little kits. That's one good thing about her. She let me do me. Whatever I was drawn to, and it was usually the earth and dirt and how it functioned, and she would do everything with her plants by the sun and by the almanac, the witch's almanac, because that also is a form of alchemy and female magic, see, which ties into your body and the nourishment of the cell, as well as expanding the consciousness, going into the chakras in the auric field, nourishing the etheric part of the anatomy. So when I go up there, thank you for the donation. I go up there. Yes, Quentin, sperm is life essence, but it talks. Because remember, the sperm is one thing, and the anatomy of the sperm and what it includes is one thing. And the seminal fluid is the ocean that it floats in, that it lives in, that it's nourished in and breathes and thrives in. The seminal fluid and sperm are two different things to me. That's the way I see that, and that's the way they speak to me. And they're very spiritual. And they already have encoded in their head what to do and where to go and how to do it. If they're out of balance, the woman and the child is out of balance during the insemination and the pregnancy and basically the whole energy of the relationship. So I would suggest women learn penis worship, how to talk to it. That's what Nipsey told me to call it, penis. Penis worship. So we're going to have a penis worship class, ladies. I'm going to teach you what he told me. I mean, I know a lot of y'all already know how to suck a dick. I'm not trying to tell you how to suck a dick because I know y'all already probably got me beat on that one. But what I'm saying is I'm going to teach you how to enhance your ability to do it and go into trance, sucking the... Do it with no hands and going into a trance, sucking dick. You see what I'm saying? This in itself is not just a sexual act. It is a spiritual act. And this is something, unless you just like to screw a lot of people and you like to have orgies, fine. I'm not talking to you. That's just your thing. Because there are a lot of women that have told me that are sex addicts. A lot of them have been abused. And a lot of them have been humiliated because they like a lot of sex. A lot of them are practicing a form of magic that is vampiring on a dick. Sucking out and drinking seminal fluid and vampiring on the penis. So they are doing penis worship, but at the same time, they are staying in vagina power because they are consuming the flesh of the man that they're pulling all of the fluid out of him, draining his nuts, basically. And you will see a lot of not just older women doing this. Like if you look at a lot of older women that look very young, a lot of them have a really healthy sex life and they're screwing someone younger. And one of the reasons, because it's a form of sexual alchemy, because they drinking the juice. They drinking the life force out of this man in living sperm. Because if it is clean and disease free, and she's performing these acts of penis worship on him, and there are certain rituals she's doing, she can pull this energy out of the man. That is also a very powerful point of his life force. So men should not let women do that to them every day. And some men are sex addicts. They have to have sex every day. but they should not, because you'll see a man that does that over time has a lot of health problems. He started looking broke down and old and have a lot of issues with his joint, bone, and energy. If you're doing that, it's a certain way a man needs to replenish himself energetically and ejaculate and have a certain form of nourishment and sun. High greens, high energy living food, proteins, vitamins, and minerals, because he will become very, very deficient. The same thing with a woman. So she will actually, like a vampire, feed. They will find feed. And there are men that will do this. That's why I don't trust all men. I'll sleep with everybody, because there are men that become very successful, and you will know them by their works and the effect on your body and your life. There are men that will target women that are very, very spiritual and that are empaths, that have a certain higher body of white energy highlighting them. And the woman might not know who she is. She doesn't know that a part of him is also demonic and vampiric. They will target that woman, have sex with her, turn her out. First of all, they have sex with the other part of her, where they become a part of her, and where she starts to see them in dreams or think of them all day and all night and feel them around her, okay? Then when they have sex with her, the sex is usually incredible and it feels like a spiritual experience. He's stealing energy out of her womb and down through the vagina. And as he collects, like a bone collector, collects her soul and collects the souls of other women, this man becomes more successful. And a lot of times the woman becomes less successful, emotionally attached to him, like a junkie to him. And her money goes down. She starts having mental, emotional depression and imbalance, because a lot of these men will pull away and not commit and like to be free and have different lovers, but their net worth increases. Why? Because somebody taught them the art of sexual alchemy, and they use it. And that's what these niggas be doing in this nigga con science community. A lot of those women, as time go on, as they fighting for them niggas, because they get the knowledge, and they'll secretly know how to research and tap into the knowledge, but won't tell it to you, because they want you to be a consumer and a spectator, a consumer of the knowledge, consumer of dick and nut. So basically, when you see these women 5 years gone by, 10 years go by, they might have a baby by these niggas. They might have been taking care of these niggas with their food stamps and they Section 8 and working and paying for the nigga so he can teach and draw in other women, because most of them are into polygamy and want to have this community. You'll see the women sick, wore out, mental problems, spiritual problems, physical, mental, emotional, chemical imbalance, and the man continues to thrive and recruit younger, fresher women that have not been poisoned by that experience, and then feast off of all of them. And these women don't even see this, so they know something's wrong, but they will not tell you. I have had them secretly tell me, and I see how they look over time and washed out and worn out. And when I'm looking, going back to Antarctica and Alaska, these beings hold that science. They've made treaties with the top small percent that rules the world. And in order for them to rule, they have to keep those things secret. The secret now that they've stolen from your ancestors and taken the blood oaths and consumed your ancestors with cannibalism. Even some of your own ancestors have sold you out and taken part in this, like the dirty Moors and dirty niggas we got today in the industry. Men that are rappers, dancers, singers, and athletes, most of those have the draconian energy and have taken the oath. They go through a lot of women because they are vampiring on the energy. It gives them a rush, and that elixir that women consume out of them, or that they take out of a woman's vagina, commingling the energy, suppresses the woman and makes her a sex slave and a victim, but then gives him creativity and a new boost to his aura and his electromagnetic field, so he's more of a prolific writer, entertainer, and performer. You don't know that, though. So anyway, I'm going to get off of that. If y'all want some more of that, y'all like that little taste of that, then we'll have a class on it, because a lot of you have written me secretly and told me that you want the classes on the mother-daughter drama. I think what's the first highest requested class? Mother-daughter drama, second vagina power, and magic, intro magic. And because we know we all want the sex magic one, I love that one. That one's quite fascinating. Nipsey has helped me heal and get over the fear of my vagina and all of that creative energy that was suppressed in my vagina through pain. And even being celibate was tied in fear and pain. It's amazing. I was thinking about it since I talked to you the other night. I know I'm suffering from PTSD, from a whole life of trauma and abuse. It would make sense based on my life. I acknowledge that now. I've been suffering from it quietly. I was looking at me and my assistant, who is so sweet and so beautiful. And I learned from her as well. She's so helpful to me. We were looking at the video I call it Hard Dick and Candy. It's really Hard Dick and Tricks, where I have the red skirt suit on, have my hair in a long ponytail, and my birth mother's up there talking with me. And I'm talking about how women like the fast cars, the pretty cars, and the vibration of the engines stimulates a man's nuts, and this makes his dick hard, and it turns him on and boosts his ego. And women love to see the pretty cars and love the roar of the engine. And we love to watch the drag racing and the speed racing. And we love to watch men drive those cars. And usually when we'll go after men, they have those very expensive cars and expensive paint and the engines in them, because they know those guys have money. And those guys have a lot of women following them. And the more beautiful the car and the most expensive the engine and the faster it is, he gets the best women. Even if he doesn't give them any money, he gets a lot of pussy. He's a pussy magnet. Men like that, basically any high profile guy. And I was talking about that in the video. I told her to download it and put it up on one of my pages and put it on Instagram so we could see it, because I saw people taking clips out of that video. I see a lot of people watching my videos, the old ones and the new ones, and taking clips out of them that they think are funny, and they're passing them around. They've done that for years. That's why I never made YouTube or Facebook or anybody take my videos down, because at least they would know who I was, even though I wasn't making any money off of them. And it's amazing, 20 years later, almost 20 years later, might be 20 years, I see younger generations of people just now finding out about Alexis K. Tyler Vagina Power, that show, and finding it funny and entertaining and educational, and taking clips out in 2023 from a 2006 show and spreading them around, and people like picking up on it and spreading it some more. It's amazing to me. I never thought that would happen. And I look back at that now, and it took all these years to finally have courage to talk about that that stuff. Wait a minute, I just came in here now. What did this person say? At Hello Divine, you kind of missed a bit of it. Oh, it's Professor. Oh, okay. You're talking to somebody else, not talking to me. And when I looked at it last night, I was looking at my birth mother sitting beside me, and I think if you can't really see, you look at the dynamic between us, and it's funny, and it looks like she's sitting there supporting me, like being the supportive sidekick. And if I didn't know any better, she seems like a nice lady, very charming, just playing her position on the side. And I knew, because I as I looked, and because as I really looked at it and studied it now, you can see the tension. You have to watch it because it's kind of subtle. And when I looked at my body, and I was doing the talking and very animated, and when she would try to jump in, I'd cut her off, take control, because I know how she is. And I know that growing up and being abused, I never had a voice. That was the first time when I started doing that show, and she begged to be on it because I was doing well without her. And I started the show without her. I never talked about sex because she never taught us anything other than derogatory. And I was having that conversation, okay, with her on there, but it wasn't really with her. It was at her. It was about me, showing that I had a brain and I could talk and I could teach, and there was something that I had to say that was worthwhile. So I'm watching that and I'm like, wow, a person that was ignorant just thought that was funny. A person that had spiritual insight could look at that and could see the undercurrent was very tense. Most people couldn't get that. Some spiritual people did, because I used to give my number out on that show for anybody to give me their feedback. And some people would call me and say, hey, I'm not trying to start nothing, but I could look at your mother and tell that your mother is jealous of you and your mother don't like you. I could see in some of the scenes the way that your mother would cut her eye and look you up and down. Your mother really don't like you. I ain't trying to start nothing, but that's what my spirit's saying, in case you didn't know. And then I would say, baby, that's the story of my life. I've been knowing. And for you to pick up on that, you're very wise and you are spiritual and you're not wrong. And I appreciate you calling me and I appreciate you telling me. And you see what I already know. I just act like I don't. I'm glad you can see it. Most people, that went over their head. So looking at that now, as I'm finally having the courage to speak about this and to let my guard down and to really start digging into it to heal something that is so terribly painful. When I look back at the videos, I said upload it because I don't really watch that show, my show. I watch clips of me, and even they make me laugh. They're funny. I loved doing that show. I put my whole life, all my energy. I had no money doing that show, and nobody wanted to give me any money to do the show. Nobody wanted to sponsor me, but everybody else down there was getting sponsored. So they had nicer sets. I didn't have a nice set because I didn't have the budget. And even though these people would watch me, they didn't want anybody to know that they had sponsored a show called Vagina Power. And they could have secretly given me the money. I wouldn't have told where it came from. People treated me like that's something that you're not supposed to talk about, but everybody's getting pregnant and everybody's screwing. But you don't want me to talk about your screw. I mean, it's just really, really ridiculous. And that's why we have so many problems that we have. because it's a natural function of life, and all these diseases and dysfunctions in relationships and divorces and people are unequally yoked, teens getting pregnant, teens getting infected with HIV and all these other things. We're told we're not supposed to talk about this thing, but everybody's having sex. Even people that don't want to have sex, as children are being raped and little girls are getting pregnant by grown people at 8 and 9 years old because they're getting periods so early or getting venereal diseases as children, and they don't want to talk about this. And I was talking about these things, and she never spoke to me about these things. So I'm rewatching this. And this is the first time I could look at myself without having a hang up, a fear, a issue around talking about sex and encouraging freedom around your vagina and in your vagina. And you can be free in your vagina because that's your body and that's the divine architecture that God gave you. It doesn't mean when I say free that you just do anything with anybody. I'm just saying free and embracing your anatomy and physiology and embracing you being a woman and a sexual being and a spirit being first, because first you are a spirit being without a physical body or a physical identity. And when the physical body dies, you will still be who you are, a spirit being who chose to reside in a body given a certain name or personality. When you get out of that physical body, you go back to who you came from and where you came from. That personality and all that stuff is still intact. And where you are and who you are and what that physical life was like, you are then left with. How are you going to quantify that? How are you going to explain that, express that, and the lessons that you learned or the things that you did not learn? And if you want to come back and repeat it, there was a movie, like a cartoon style movie by Disney a couple of years ago that showed people that physically died and decided that they wanted to come back. And they actually did and reincarnated. And it was really funny because they were blue. Just like when you look at some of these other beings, the people are blue. And when I'm dealing with Nipsey and his story and his readings and creating things, he gives me their blue. So that clearly is one of the highest spiritual and etheric colors, blue. But then if you look at the chakra blue, you would deal with the throat. Anyway, I'm going to close this out at this time. I'm not going to keep giving this type of information away. If people find a value for it, you will donate and you will decide if you want that class or not. I'm just giving you a sample of it, but I'm not going to give all of this away to you. It's not necessary for me. I can just take these classes. I can take these classes and I can put them on my site in the download section, but you will not get all of this information for free. And this is something that I didn't read this anywhere. I did not study this from anybody. Nobody gave it to me. My spirits taught me, and the people that choose to come in here outside the body teach me. And now Nipsey has helped to heal me and balance me by giving me the male side of penis power and sperm power, going into the deeper parts of the spiritual sexual anatomy, as well as merging it with the physical anatomy. It's so much work. I'm not finished with everything he's given me, but I think he would know because he was a very, very spiritual, sexual person. And speaking of that, before I go, I'll probably address this when I come back, though. His baby's mother, Tanisha. Now, I know she said that I was a fake psychic and a liar, and that's okay. I have people saying that about me all the time, but I don't have them proving it. I would like for her to prove it. What have I lied about her on? You see what I'm saying? I said last year, and I said, yes, that was last year, and I said it before then. I said it when Nipsey first came here. He asked me to do one reading and that he would leave. He wanted a message to his brother and what happened to him. And he told me his brother's name, Sam Samael, send the message. And I said it in public. I said, who is this? They said, it's Black Sam. It's Black Sam. It's his brother, Black Sam. That's his twin. That's his best friend. Okay. He said, I'm going to leave and I'm never going to come back. I said, okay, Nipsey, that's fine. And then he comes back and he comes back and he comes back. One of the readings he asked me to do at the beginning was to his baby's mother, Tanisha. That was the first one. And he really doesn't attack her much. The one he said was directly involved with setting him up in a co-conspirator because she was mad she couldn't have him, she couldn't control him, and he wasn't with her at the time of his death, like she keeps saying. They were not together. He keeps saying that. The one he implicates the most and the one he is still angry at is the actress baby mama with the dimples, who had a little boy named Cross who crossed them up. Okay. I said within the first few months, because he said, I need you to talk to my baby mama, the one with my favorite little girl, Imani. And I saw the family. I said, oh, she's getting ready to go to court. They finna take this baby. They finna jam her ass up. Before they did it, I said it. Within a week or so, and then I see his sister had took Imani from Tanisha. And then they went to court to get custody or to joint custody, which she already had joint custody with Nipsey, and to share the custody. Okay. That happened, like I said, but you know I'm a liar. I have not removed any reading on her. I have not taken back anything I said about her because I'm waiting for proof that I'm a liar. Then I will retract it in public because I'm not trying to hurt her or anybody. And look, as I've always said, I work for the spirit. So if I say something about you that you don't like, it's not because I physically know you, because I don't physically know these people. And I never proclaim to know you for a fact. These are spirit readings, and this is what I believe I'm being shown in the spirit about you. It's not personal. Even though it feels that way to you and you end up hating me and threatening my life, all that shit, that's fine. I understand it. I would feel the same way if somebody says shit about me and you don't know me. And I always ask to prove that I'm a liar because I see this stuff in the spirit. This is alleged, what I see. I don't say I know you, I seen you, unless I really know you and I really met you and engaged you. And then I'll still ask you to prove me wrong. I don't know you. I ain't never talked to you on the phone. I ain't never met you in person. I asked you to prove that shit. Ain't nobody came forward that I said I knew and I said fucked me over, that I talked to, I dealt with you and seen you in your motherfucking face. Because I'm not going to get out in public and risk my reputation by damn lying and saying I know somebody, I spoke to somebody that I don't motherfucking know. I ain't never seen, I ain't never spoke to you. Ain't nobody that I said it about came out and proved that they don't fucking know me, ain't never talked to me and shit. So I get why you don't like me. But I'm not here for you to like me. I'm not one of those types of readers that I'm going to say everything you want to hear and then the shit is fucked up. And then you're like, Alexis, why did you say this was perfect and a perfect relationship and shit? And now they over there fighting and taking this motherfucker to court. Like my grandmama said, not court, taking them to court, as they said down south. She's going to court. I said that she was going. And then I said, when Grandma Hussle was here, Grandma said that she got a lot of mental issues. Imani's mother got a lot of mental issues, his first baby mama. Well, not, he got other children, but the main baby mama he claimed that he was with them two children that he claimed, okay? And that she still slick, get high, drunk. And next thing I know, after I said that, people started sending me, like they're sending it to me now, for 2023. This before 2023 came in. The baby mama got to go back to court with Nipsey's family about custody and about protecting her $2 million estate her daddy left her. You know, but she's saying I'm a liar and I'm a fake psychic. I'm not offended by that. I just want proof that I'm a liar and a fake goddamn psychic, because I believe that these physically dead people that are yet still alive come here and tell me stuff. And I said it before it came out, and it's out now. Somebody sent it to me again for 2023, that there is going to be a possible court hearing on custody between Tanisha and Nipsey Hussle's family, Amius Joseph Ashkadam, about his child, Imani Ashkadam. Now, just show me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I'm not going to do no thinning and proving and show and tell shit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I say I'm wrong. And I put my reputation on the line by getting out here saying wild shit all the time. So it makes me nervous as well, because I'm putting myself out here where people already say I'm crazy and I have a mental problem. I say this stuff that I don't have any proof of. So that's difficult for me, but yet I do it. And I wait for y'all, because I'm saying this shit in front of strangers that I don't know. And I wait for y'all to come back and have to deal with being embarrassed, but getting over it. I don't have a fear of being embarrassed. If it's something I say that's wrong, then I would say, look, damn, I misunderstood this, or clearly the person ain't in here. If I'm saying they said something and it doesn't come true, then I'm being tricked by some spirit. So if this is not happening and somebody sent me the news from 2023, the date is 2023, that there is going to be a hearing. And somebody sent me yesterday an article, because people play tricks and games, you know. But I saw that it was from a reputable site, the Shade Room and somewhere else. This wasn't a personal letter to me. This wasn't a personal email to me, because I know how people will set you up and send you personal emails, just like they did that lady like that last week. What her name? I think she calls her channel Miss Lowdown on YouTube, where she had gotten a letter from somebody. It was not a news article. It wasn't a mug shot. It was a personal letter where somebody said they knew that Jay Prince Sr. had been arrested for threatening, for threatening Offset. Did any of y'all see that? When I know Ayanna Jones, I didn't say that I was embarrassed by anything. I said I put myself in a position to be embarrassed when I say that spirits, the souls of people, walk in here and talk to me. That's all I have. I don't have any proof or evidence of it. And I put myself in a position because I say it out in public to strangers. I don't know who's listening, because a lot of these people will never reveal if they listen. They'll act like they don't know me and they don't fuck with me and I'm crazy. But I know they listen, and I know celebrities listen to me. They act like they don't, but I know they do. That's what I said. I put myself in a position to be embarrassed by saying things that I hear, that I believe I hear in the spirit, that I cannot prove, because I don't know these people unless I tell you I know somebody. So that is a very scary thing to do, but I do it. Okay. So that lady, based on what the person said in the letter, like they knew Jay Prince Jr., they knew that family, they knew what was going on in Texas, and said that Jay Prince Sr. had been arrested last week. I don't know if any of y'all had, thank you, Abs. I know that now. I'm not crazy, baby. And no, I didn't see it. My mind's been on other things and I've been tired. I don't want to keep up with that all the time. I already said what I had to say about that. When I saw her say that, I said, no, he hasn't. But, I didn't tell y'all. I kept it to myself. I looked at it. I said, no, he hasn't. I wonder, where is she getting this from? Because somebody's setting her up for failure. I knew it when I seen her say it. I said, no, they tricking her. I wish she wouldn't say, but I don't know her. And she said, oh, yes, honey, this is a brewing, and he been arrested, and this finna come out soon. Ooh, y'all. J. Prince Sr. been arrested for threatening Offset, and y'all gonna find out soon. I got some hot tea and I got some inside information. And I said, no, he's not. I was saying it to myself as I watched. No, he's not. No, he's not. And then I didn't send it to y'all. I said, that's not true. That's not true. And there was no evidence. She trusted whoever gave her this. And then she apologized last week. She came back and apologized. And she said she knew who it was who did it. And they sent her a personal email promising that J. Prince Sr. was in jail. And then J. Prince Sr. heard it and did a video laughing, sitting at his mansion, and said, if this is jail, I want to spend the rest of my life here because I am not arrested. But if this is what you call being arrested and in jail, then that's what even WAC 100 had responded to it, like this man was arrested. J. Prince Sr. was not arrested last week. He's not arrested now. And he was just doing a video laughing. Y'all can go check into what I'm saying. I said, that's why I didn't say nothing to y'all about it. Because I knew in my soul, my spirit said, that's not true. They play on her. People will play with you and then have you say stuff, trusting them, and laugh, sit back and laugh, So I said it to say this. The emails that I got talking about there being a court proceeding was not a personal email. This was in one of the blogs, one of the big blogs that deal with celebrities. And then somebody sent me, I was trying to see it, saying Tanisha just did, I don't know if it was a statement. I don't know if she did a video. I didn't see it, so I'm not going to lie. Something they said, she said that she was crying and said that if she could have took the bullets for Nipsey, she would have took the bullets, and that she had talked to him. Well, she had said before when it happened, she talked to him within 30 minutes before he died. She was on this video with this guy. You couldn't see the guy, but you could see her and the dog. And he said, be quiet. She said, how you like them apples? I never stopped fucking him. I was still fucking him while Lauren was fucking. Y'all act like she's so much and she better than me and special than me, but I was still fucking. I never stopped. I was fucking for see with my nigga for 17 years. And you know what? She right. That was still her lover. He was her lover at the time of his assassination. I am more sure of the fact that she had just got out of bed. She had just got out of bed with him within a few days of his shooting. I would say she was with him before he died, physically died, more than I would say the actress was screwing him. She was one of the ones that was screwing him before he died. I believe that in my spirit. And that's what he said. He was still more closer to her. But he had pulled away from the baby mama that's the actress. I believe that in my spirit. Somebody could easily prove me wrong. Now, I'm sure she won't say I'm attacking her when I say that. She was still screwing him. She telling the truth. And I seen it, and I asked him, and he told me, and like he said in the reading, she was a friend to him. She was a confidant to him. She was a good friend, and she was one of the best lovers. Because she would do anything with anybody, anything that man say, she'd do whatever that man say. But at the same time, he said he was not in love with her, and she could not control him. And it was character flaws that she had that he did not like, and he did not marry her either. But was she the lesser of two evils? Yes. Now, it's some conflict and convoluted shit between the three of them, that love triangle, because he hurt her when he got out with the actress and paraded her out in the front, and Tanisha still stayed because he wouldn't let her go. He still had her, so-called thinking he was going to rise up and do business with the actress baby mama, and she put him in a trick after everybody warned this nigga. People that knew them in that industry and in that gang knew about her, because the industry goes together with the gang. They warned him. Every nigga that she get with seemed like something happened to him, or they come up injured or dead or on lean and shit, like Lil Wayne was on that corner stumbling around with that lean. And they say he got sick whenever she was around and going to seizures. Then when he stopped having her around, he wasn't having seizures with the. See, this is what's said, allegedly. He wouldn't listen. He got warned so many times about trusting her. They told him to smash and pass. By the time he found out towards the end, it was too late. It was too late. And see, Tanisha know about that shit. I'm listening to that. So see, I don't know. Y'all can tell me if you see anything in public about it, because people been sending to me that she was crying lately because it's anniversary coming up, and saying she wished she could have took the bullets instead of him. She wished she was still here. There is some messiness about that between them. Whew. Their relationship was something else. It was off and on, up and down, good when it was good, bad when it was bad, conflicted, them sleeping with different peoples, them having orgies. She couldn't really control and get a grip on this man like she wanted to. It's more of him running her. Even though she do whatever he say, she was so strung out on him. I think she was called herself more in love with him. He wasn't in love with her. Because, and then somebody said something last night to me when I said about the things he was teaching me to teach y'all. And they said, well, do you think he taught his baby mothers what he is teaching you? And I said, the only thing I can say is this, because I know I am the creator. I am Alexis K. Tyler, vagina power, penis power, sperm power. This information was given to me by my ancestors. And I'm the first one that started a TV show and called it Vagina Power. So I was already teaching this stuff before he came here. But I stopped, and I was very sick for the past 10 years from being poisoned. So I couldn't really function or much. Some days get out of my bed and leave my house. And then I didn't realize I was also being poisoned with mold in the house. He basically helped me heal and regenerate myself. He said, Alexis, you have to finish this before you physically die. You have to teach this. And let me give you the male side, because I know you've had a lot of fucked up men in your life. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm too sick. He said, no, you're going to do it. And this is going to help you get well. I was already the master of that shit. Even though people try to destroy me and stop me from teaching it, and they want to be the teachers and healers and that, like they got the secret and want to try to destroy me and take my life from me, but you don't. It's enough room for everybody to be here. And people try to copy me and copy my style and talk like me and call it pussy power, because you can't call it direct vagina power. Because that everybody know that come from the dirty South and the ATL. They come from Alexis K. Tyler. I was on TV doing that shit. Starting in 2006. That's why I'm glad people are checking my footwork and stepping around a long time. I've been teaching about pussy and dick and talking nasty for years. So when Nipsey comes here, he basically gives me the masculine side, since I ain't never had a nigga to give me the game. So if he's had sex with these people, this is what I don't understand. Now, he done came in every part of their body and even had babies that done growed in their uterus that they done gave birth to that belonged to him. Skeet it all in your eyeballs, your nose, your mouth, and your throat. But yet you got a veil over your eyes. You can't see nothing about the male side of spiritual sexuality and dick magic. Pussy power, magic, anything, because if you really was standing in vagina power and had pussy power, you later had a baby by this man and laid up with him and bragged that you've been screwing him for 17 years and the other one been screwing him, since 2013, 14, when he said that's one of the women I want to fuck, tell the little girl Lauren to holler at me. And if you really was a divine sacred feminine and a divine witch in vagina power, your pussy would have took that dick in, gripped it, hold it, and made it skeet and beat. And you would have internalized in the cells of your body every aspect of vagina power and stood up as a woman and been able to see, because he done came in your eyes, your mouth, and your butt. And you done had a baby to reflect that. This man is you're carrying the DNA of this man that has come and fertilizing your ass out now in another person as a child. And if you conceive the knowledge of his cell, and you downloaded the knowledge from his cell, not just in your butt, but in the cells of the nucleus of your mind, you would have then been teaching this not only, and then hollering back and chirping back to him what he is giving to you, and then you would have started to teach it and reflect it, and he would have been legally married to one of y'all. Not just that, if you were a psychic medium, if you can intuit the information from on high, the highest levels of him, download it and write it, but before you write it, download it in your mind and articulate it to him and create that bond of sacred matrimony, divine feminine meeting sacred masculine, and you would have locked him down. Neither one of y'all locked him down and had control. That man was still searching for love. That man was still searching for a soulmate, sleeping with them different women and sleeping with women with y'all. That's what tells me you didn't get it. Because if you were that and you were having spiritual sex with this man, not just giving him physical pleasure, you would have resurrected the God consciousness in this man, and he would not have to die yet to come to life. He wouldn't have had to resurrect himself in death and to speak his mind and to elevate his consciousness outside of a physical death. Why? Because if you were a divine sacred witch and you were the divine feminine and he downloaded and taught vagina power to you, have mercy, you would have seen they was finna shoot that man over there at the marathon, and you would have been over there with him busted. Like you bust nuts and brag about that. I've been busting with him and fucking him for 17 years. Then you would have been busting bullets over there instead of saying, I wish I would have absorbed the bullets and he wouldn't have got them. He wouldn't have never fucking got them. And you wouldn't have had to wish you took them, because you would have been blocking them if you was a divine sacred feminine and you were the witch or pussy. If you were in the alchemy mind, sexual alchemy, of spiritual sexual, neither one of you wasn't. As far as I'm concerned, you wasn't. Y'all was on something else, trying to get him, control him, get pregnant by him, get money by him, get recognition. I'm the one, I'm this, I'm that, and then pull off of his estate, dead people money like you doing. Because that's one of the things he's telling me about the baby mama that's the actress. A part of her is upset and feel like she ain't getting all the Nipsey money that she deserved to get. The brother ain't giving her all of it, because she knew different ways that Nipsey made money. And for some reason, even though she's not legally married to him, he didn't will her money from every way he made it and every way his brother made it, and he didn't put anything in writing to tell his brother to give it to her, nor did she not inherit the estate because she's not his legal wife. She still feels like the brother owed me this from what Nipsey got. I was fucking him. I got a baby bam and I'm this and I'm that. And he supposed to get. She feels cheated by different people that promised her all these things before he was physically murdered. Assassinated. That's also what he's saying. Both of these baby mamas got character flaws, and both of them have issues around their relationships and problems that they had with him because they couldn't control him. Thinking they pussy gonna control him and out sucking and out fucking another woman, and you fucking women with him and sucking dick with him in the room and fucking him and letting another nigga, if you fucking another nigga with him and shit. You think he would? Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm sorry, but that's what he's showing me, and I'm willing to be wrong if that never happened. These two women are not women of integrity and honor like you think. When I see a woman that's been screwing a man a real long time, got a child by him or children by him, and her ultimate goal is to lock him down and make him marry her, and he doesn't. But if y'all still fucking got a relationship and he loves his daughter so much, one of the things he keeps saying to me, he feared for the safety of his daughter. And he wanted to make sure he shielded and protected his daughter. He did not believe her mother had the ability. And there are different reasons, and I'll get into that for a later date, and I already have, and I still stand by what I said in the first reading that he said. I love her, but I'm not in love with her, and I don't trust her to handle my money, my estate, or my affairs, or to have full custody of my daughter and take care of my daughter without my brother and my family being able to have access for her and watch her and provide for her the way. See, he must have, I don't know what he told Tanisha, but he told his brother something else. And the brother's not finna let the little girl get out of his sight, because their instructions his brother has from his twin. His brother is like his twin, bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh. And when they shot him and his blood shed, they shot his brother too. Black Sam walking around wounded. He'll never be right behind this shit. And I see there's a new interview, which I knew it a month ago. I saw the preview of it coming up. I started looking at it and I closed it because I said, here we go. I don't want to open this, because as soon as I opened that video and I saw Black Sam talking with Kobe Supreme and that other one that I like, that fat dog-skinned one, I like him. I don't see any evil and him towards Nipsey. What his name? He got them plaits in his head. He big and dark skinned. He did that song with Nipsey, Big Gun. They all a part of All Money In. Black Sam is working with All Money In. What is his name? I see his face and I hear him saying, big guns. I got AKs, pick one. I like that song. And him and Nipsey doing that. I don't see no evil in him. What else they show? BH and Kobe Supreme. Black Sam is up there with them. And when I started listening to that today, I said, oh no, oh hell. I said, I'm not listening to them right now because Nipsey started talking. I said, oh no, I am not trying to go here and say nothing about Black Sam. I don't have anything bad to say about Black Sam. Let me make that very, very clear. I never have. And that's not what Nipsey said. He has no problem with his brother. He's just very concerned about his brother's safety and who he hangs around. When he started talking, I said, oh, no, baby, not right now. I'm too tired, and I don't think I want to. I'll probably go back and I'll write down what he's saying, but I don't think I'm going to repeat it all in public, because I'm already looking at cards and looking at this, and I already see what it really is. But I'm trying not to go there. I'm going to go now and get me a little rest. And if y'all want me to address First of all, I can't see the chat. I've been looking at it while I'm talking because I don't like my train of thought messed up. That's right, Oracle King. He's his brother. Pac-Man. I like Pac-Man. Thank you, Big Mark. Pac-Man. I don't see that he had anything to do with that and that he wanted Nipsey physically dead or out the way. I don't see it. Just said Morticia, I was stalking his Instagram page every night at 3 and 4 and 3 weeks before he passed and didn't know why. He was being threatened and he knew. Thank you, Oracle King. They went vibrating high enough because you would be able to see it now. And you don't see it. Thank you, TK. Thank you, ABS. I love you too. And Bugatti. That actress, I never looked her up, liked her from day one. I remember when she was with Wayne. Yeah, because he had got Nivea pregnant first. And you see, he didn't leave Nivea for her when she got pregnant. I know Nick _Ombre, she said she was the last person he called. Or I don't know if that's true. We can't see the phone records and she didn't prove it to us. But it's still something she's not telling you. Her and Nipsey would have real bad arguments and fights. And sometimes she would be the aggressor. She would attack him and try to provoke him to attack her. Tanisha. Where she would argue with him when she would catch him in something or knew about another woman or, a lot of the stuff he didn't really hide. She knew how he was. And she would participate with this shit and she didn't want to lose him. So they would have really bad knockdown, drag out fights where she would want him to physically hit her, physically engage her. Because, she's a tall girl. Tall woman, brother. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to beat on her. Even if it came to that, I see it's like a lot of people believe when you fight them that you care about them. A lot of women believe that. I see that there was a lot of unevenness between them at times. There was tension and friction fighting between those two, fighting with the other actress, but neither one of them could really get him down where they wanted him. That's what I'm seeing. But the other one was more treacherous. Like, if I can't have you, I don't even want you here. Because the thought of seeing you leave me and being with another woman, I can't take it. I'm telling y'all don't know, this lady talks sweet and innocent in public, but she's a motherfucker and got a bad temper. That Sagittarius right there ain't got good sense. Crazy as hell with a split personality. You ain't seen the other side of her. She's passive aggressive, but on the low, people that really know her have seen that wild, very vicious temper, and she wants to become violent. She'll think about becoming violent when you don't do what she wants you to do, or if you said something she don't like, or you get out of control, or she catch you with another bitch. I'm talking about this one here. The one y'all think is so nice and sweet and successful, that one right there, that fucker crazy. I have always said that because he told me. He told me that from day one he came in. She's a temper. She has a split personality. Then she get out in public. Hi, everybody. Go see my new movie. I'm so grateful. See, that's the outside boy. See, that's the fake part. She's an actress, goddammit. She's an actress. That's the fake one right there. That's the other side. To fool y'all, a lot of y'all believe that and want to attack me and call me a liar, but y'all ain't been able to prove me a liar yet. That ain't real. Nipsey said that's really not what it is, and he didn't listen. God sent so many warnings to him. He wouldn't listen. You know how a lot of people are? They in a relationship with you, so they trust you. They're not going to trust what everybody said about you. They're going to trust you and your word until they watch you and see. And when he really decided to watch her and seeing how she was, it was too late. He was still trying to resolve this relationship amicably and see the child, take care of the child, be friends. She didn't want that. If I can't hear you, ain't nobody going to hear you. That's the attitude this woman has, but it really wasn't in love with him. It was power and control and obsession. and over his things is his money and trying to force him into a marriage so she can be in control of his estate and shit. And then something would have happened. Eventually, he understands now, and from what I can see, if it didn't happen to him outside of marriage, it would have happened to him if he had married the actress, and then she would have had more to gain, and the family wouldn't have no say, wouldn't be able to do nothing about it, because that's how it is in California. He wasn't stupid and weak like she thought. Thank God. He didn't do that. They would have still fighting her now, and they would have seen the dirty side of her that I see. And now the actress has a lot of guilt and regret about what she done, how she participated in what she done. She's not happy. You know, you think she happy. She's not right behind this because it didn't go the way she thought. And she's angry with Black Sam. We probably will never hear about it. We'll never see it. But I'm telling you, I see it. Resentment. And I've always seen it. And I still see it because she's plotting to get more money. And Black Sam ain't trying to hear that shit. He not finna let her make no punk or sucker out of him. He's gonna stand up for her brother. And this wound, it hurt him so bad, like that shit just happened yesterday. He not finna let nobody do that and destroy his brother's legacy or the memory. Like I say, y'all want me to come back and dig into that some more and see what else is going on with Tanisha and this whole thing, since she sounds such a liar? I would be glad to do it, but you gonna have to hit my cash app and make it clap.